Hello my lovelies and welcome to the Parapuff Girl. So here we have another mineral sunscreen option with us today. This is the HARKOI Mineral Matte Sunscreen. This one has a lot of claims and I'm here to test them all. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. So this is another pure mineral sunscreen. There are no chemical filters. This one has an SPF of 35 PA++++. That's 4 pluses. So before we go forward, my skin type is dry. I am reviewing this in a dry climate. My MAC foundation match would be an NC40 during the summers. I can go a little bit lighter during the winters. However, I avoid MAC because it is not cruelty free and that's for your shade reference only. So this is a pure mineral matte sunscreen. It says it's a primer plus mineral sunscreen plus a sheer tint. They say this gives a minimal white cast, sheer to no coverage with phytosqualane and vitamin E. The price of this product is 699 rupees for 30 grams of product. That comes up to about 23 rupees per ml. This one does not go on a very big discount, however. I don't think that this brand does a 1+1 or any heavy discounts whatsoever. I have attached all the links in the description below. So if you feel like purchasing this product, please go ahead and use those links. This video is of course non-sponsored. This product is also cruelty-free and fragrance-free. So I got this while it's still being sold in a tub. The good news, however, is that they're shifting it to a tube formula. Right now, I think only a few shades are available in a tube formula. Eventually, they're going to convert all of these into a tube formula, which is, of course, so much more hygienic than this tub. What I love about this product is there are 8 shades in this product range, okay? And that's excellent because Indian skin tones are very different. And I feel like 8 shades specifically for Indian skin tones has been a great idea. Based on other influencers videos, based on the site's suggestion, I went in for shade 4, okay? So I'm reviewing shade 4 in terms of color. I do believe that I'm someone with a yellow undertone, so I was confused between shade 2 and shade 4. So I went for shade 4 because I don't think that I'm that light skin toned. So this one says that it has 20% zinc oxide. This sunscreen is not certified, at least I've not found a certification on the website. I tried to DM them before on Instagram as well, but they've not been very responsive. So I am trying to find a certification for this. If you know where I can find it, please let me know in the comments below. Another thing that I absolutely love is not only are there 8 shades, but they've described undertones as well. That's something very important for all of us to discover what our undertone really is. Otherwise, you're going to look way too gray or pink, or you're going to end up looking way too yellow. So it's important that you kind of find your right pick in this one. So they say that this sunscreen works beautifully on all skin types. They also say that this product is transfer proof, which we will test. And they also say that this product will not oxidize, that they've used high quality pigments sourced from around the world and that their pigments do not oxidize. So of course, we'll be putting all of this to test. Nowhere on the website do they claim that this is water or sweat resistant. So if you do plan on extended protection, you will have to reapply this sunscreen. They also say that this is safe for pregnant or breastfeeding women. They recommend using 1.5 grams of this product. So I've actually gone ahead and tried my best to measure about 1.5 grams of this product. So I have that with me over here and this is what it looks like. They also claim that this does not give a white cast, but of course that is obvious because this is a heavily tinted mineral sunscreen. So getting into the ingredients of this formula. The ingredient list of this is relatively simple. Of course, there are some silicones over here. Now, the only very slightly comedogenic ingredients that I'm seeing here are beeswax, hydrogenated polyisobutane, and stearic acid, but these are also commonly used in a lot of other ingredients. So you need to see if these work for you or if they're causing a breakout. If you don't find a problem with any of your other ingredients, then it's unlikely that this will cause any problem. Because this is a mineral sunscreen, the only UV filter here is zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is an amazing UVA and UVB filter. UVA is what causes tanning, UVB is what causes burning of the skin under the sun. So zinc oxide is an excellent filter for both of those. It has 20% of zinc oxide. So let me show you the consistency of this sunscreen. So it's quite creamy and soft to the touch. So considering that this is on average 1.5 grams of product, I'm going to use about half of this for half of my face. So shade 4 is clearly not for me, and shade 4 is quite yellow, okay, like, and I am somebody with a yellow undertone, so I don't know if I just picked wrong. Maybe I should have gone for shade 2, but yeah, shade 4 wasn't for me. If you're somebody who has this much of a yellow undertone, then this is definitely something you might like. But this is almost, in my opinion, this is almost like haldi. Like, it's really yellow. So now here's the thing, okay? Even if you wait for a long time, this is the coverage that you're going to get. Let's forget the shade. Let's forget what I picked, okay? This is a heavily tinted sunscreen. As much as they say that this is sheer coverage, I sort of disagree. This has heavy coverage. It's almost like a medium build foundation. Now, when you need to use at least a gram of product, okay, you need at least a gram of sunscreen to give you optimal protection from the sun. They are suggesting that you use 1.5, which is kind of what I tried to take, okay? So half of that on half of my face is this. Now imagine if I reapply, you know what that's gonna look like in an hour or two, especially because it's not sweatproof or waterproof. I will have to reapply this for protection. So if I do, then I'm gonna look so, I already look cakey. So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna look more cakey. Now I am gonna go in with the rest of this product on the other side of my face. So let's do this. I'm just gonna blend all of this out, okay? So now this is what 1 to 1.5 grams of product looks on my face. Again, I have DM'd them to ask them if they use nano zinc oxide or non-nano zinc oxide, so I'll let you know when they reply. But yeah, so now if you want to know about the coverage, I think it's pretty clear that this does give heavy coverage. So the time now is 12:08. I'm actually just going to give this 20 minutes, even 30 minutes, maybe even longer, to let it sink in. This genuinely does not absorb any more than this, but I'm going to do this for the transfer test, okay? I'm going to let it sink in as much as it can, and I'll do the transfer test. And I'm also yet to do the oxidation test, so I'm going to be testing that as well. So the time now is 12:35, and this is how it dried down. This genuinely dries down into quite a matte finish. Oily skin people might actually really like this. So I'm gonna do a quick transfer test, okay? We're gonna go in with light pressure. So this is the lightest possible pressure. Medium. Not bad at all. Heavy pressure. So this product hardly transfers, okay, unless you really push in that pressure. Their transfer proof claim is actually quite impressive. As for the oxidation test, okay, so this is the patch that I first did. So let's do a fresh patch. In fact, let's just actually wipe off half of my face and redo half of my face to check for the oxidation extent. Ideally, I should wash my face after micellar water, but I am just going to go ahead because I am going to wipe this off, obviously, after this. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Wait. Do you see that? So yes, this product does oxidize quite a bit. I do suggest that you go in for a shade lighter than your original skin tone. So here is my final verdict, okay? With all tinted sunscreens, and I've said this a million times before in previous reviews, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. With tinted sunscreens, you actually want to look for something with a very sheer coverage because you need a good amount of sunscreen to give you protection. That's why we use sunscreen. So if you're going to use just a tinted sunscreen, it needs to be very sheer in coverage so you can keep adding on, you can keep reapplying. But with this product, you obviously cannot do that. You cannot keep building up on this because this is something between a medium to high coverage foundation in all honesty. So what you can do with this one, what is an excellent idea with this one, and this is something I still do, you can use this as a top of sunscreen, okay? So you go in with your chemical sunscreen or you go in with your mineral sunscreen, which is non-tinted, and then you add a little bit of this to give you that extra coverage and to also give you that protection from the sun. So that way, this works brilliantly. But if you're going to use this as a standalone sunscreen, you're just going to look really cakey. This does, however, dry into a complete matte finish. So if you're somebody who's looking for a matte sunscreen, this is a good option. Just make sure to find the right shade for yourself. As someone with dry skin, towards the later end of the day, I did feel like this has been quite drying for me. So I think this is better suited for someone with normal to combination skin. If you're somebody with dry skin and you're using just a little bit as a top off, that's fine. But a heavier dose of this can be a little bit drying. However, this does turn into a matte finish even if you use a lot of moisturizer. So if you're somebody with dry skin and you still want to use this, then use a good amount of moisturizer underneath. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like, share and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram @. And until we meet next time, lots of love. Stay healthy, stay hydrated.